So what do you think about this? The country has kind of been going through it lately, and I don't want to get canceled or anything, but what's with these drows? I mean, is it just my perception of the situation, or is there really something about these dark elves that is inherently evil?
Come on, Joe. We both know the Church of Psydon said it's politically incorrect to call them that. They're dark elves. That's their Psydon given name. But I'll be honest, you see honest human folk clutch their mommin and hurry by when they walk by a drow. It's for good reason, I assure you.
Right. Yeah, dark elves, sure. And I know what you mean about that kind of latent distrust of them. But is there any kind of data to back up what we all, feel every day? I mean, I'm a good person and all, so it makes me feel guilty, even though I feel that way about them anyway, just kind of inherently.
These things are more integrated into frontier towns like Rockhill, since that's where the drows are. I checked the legal archives in Kingsfield. Did you know that drows in that town are responsible for 62% of all violent crime? On top of that, they are at fault for 87% of all break-ins. I would say people have a right to fear these people if they are so overtly represented in crime. They only make up 12% of the Rockhill population, but look at these statistics. Absolutely ridiculous.
God, only 12% of the population, 86% of break-ins. I mean, that's fucking crazy. So I guess there is some sort of justification for it. It's not completely unfounded. Last time I had Joey Diaz on, he's a riot. That guy, he's crazy for real. Awesome guy. Anyways, he's on and he gets a few drinks in him. You know how he is. And he starts talking about how when he was a kid, if a drow walked by them in the city, they'd beat the shit out of them. And when they were done, their grandpa would buy them all an ice cream as a job well done. Can you believe that? That's how our nation used to be, and now they're getting all the scholarships and handouts and whatnot. Jesus.
You know what I've heard from some priests in Kingsfield? Some even say the Queen is on board with it. They want to classify the Dark Elves as laborers, cattle even, and have them do all the manual labor. Kind of like the Old Wood Elves, at least before Psydon wiped them out. If the church is on board with it, then of course it is Psydon's will.
Oh my God, man. I mean, I heard from one of my guys in town, a priest, and he said they were trying to reduce the tensions and integrate dark elves into society. Like, they're different, but we can all get along. But slavery is just, that's just too much. I know some dark elves that are really awesome guys, people I've gone to battle with, both in the ring and on the battlefield, and they are some real warriors. It's something I really respect them for, so I don't know if that's the right move, nor do I think that's going to happen. I'm always interested in hearing, differing perspectives, but that's a little unbelievable.
Let me tell you, Joe, there is no alternative. There is no quelling racial tensions. If we are to have these people exist with us, this is the only way. If we don't do something drastic like that fast, it's going to lead to another war between drows and humans, dozens dead wars that last years. Not to mention the amount of mammons that will be spent. It will be like Psydon's work to make such a prosperous kingdom will be undone, all because of some stupid drows.
Well, hey, they want us to call them dark elves, but whatever. I mean, I'm not an expert in this at all. I just know fighting and stuff around that, and I can tell you one thing. I don't want to fight another dark elf. Just the spiders alone made it some of the most brutal combat I've ever been involved in. And the fuckers rode them. That's just crazy, man. I'm getting too old for that kind of crap. So if that's what it takes to keep Psydon's peace, then I guess that's what it takes. It just feels wrong.
Yeah.
No?
That's what it takes, Joe, and those priests who are telling you otherwise. They obviously disagree with the Queen. Before I'd leave today, I'd like their names. Traitors of the kingdom hide everywhere. You can never be sure. I'll have a few witch hunters stop by later to ask them some questions.
I didn't even know. This was the way the Queen was going with her policies. I try to stay out of all that political stuff as best as I can. Again, I don't want to get canceled, but I'll tell you about that priest off air. Speaking of which, we've been on for, how long? 3.5 hours. Geez, we got to wrap this up. I just got so enthralled with our conversation, and that line about traitors really hits home for me at the end. But thanks everyone for listening. All you guys out there. Thanks Tunnel Walrus for being my guest today and sharing his wisdom with us. I love all of you guys for real. I'll see you in the next podcast.